Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam summary classes. Today we are starting Canto 4. Very happy that we already finished 3 cantos and we are entering into new canto. And today we have her Grace Sitapriti Mataji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 4, Chapter 1 summary. Mataji, we are very happy to have you on the call, and I welcome back Sundaranand Prabhu. You went to India, you're back from the trip, and you are there with us again in the call. I'm so happy to see you back on the call, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for your services to this summary classes. Very grateful to you also. And Sitapriti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving your valuable time and association this evening. And for you, morning, enlightening us on Srimad Bhagavatam. I now hand over the call to you. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. And thank you, Bhakti Sangha, for giving me this opportunity in the most auspicious month of Kartik. And I hope I do fair with the chapter and it goes well. So I pray to everyone that please, if I go wrong somewhere, please excuse me, and I'll try my best to deliver what is mentioned in this chapter. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya. So we'll start with our prayers. Om Agyanati Mirandasya. 1 minute. Huh? Give me 1 minute, Mataji.
No worries, Mataji.
Om Agyanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Gopala Krishna Goswami Namine Prabhupada Sasahitya Prakash Vitariya Pracharam Pratvan Sattva Gopalate Namo. Hare Krishna, everyone. So thank you all for being here to motivate me and encourage me, and please forgive if I go wrong somewhere. My voice is not a little bit okay still, but then I'll try my best. So we are moving as we've completed Canto 3 and we move towards Canto 4. The name itself tells the creation of the fourth order. So this canto will basically have many more wonderful stories and about the creation also. It will unfold each and every story in a very beautiful way. And there are also the Kama, Krodha, Moksha also, which further as we go ahead in the further chapters, it is mentioned. What I'll do, I'll just share this slide for a few minutes and then I'll come back to this. So, yeah, so as we go ahead over here in the chapter 1, we'll just give a quick look over what the Canto 4 has in store for us. So in this chapter 1, which is the genealogical order of daughters of Swayambhuva Manu, or the descendants of Swayambhuva Manu, and then as we further move, it describes from chapter 2 to chapter 7. It describes the sacrifices which are performed by Daksha, and how it did not go well, how it was spoiled. Then the further we move, it will be about Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, and how Narada Muni instructs him and how he has an audience with the Lord. Then the wonderful story about King Prithu, and that's again very interesting and very, very enlightening. And in the next chapters will be the devoted activities of the Pracheta kings. So in this way, the Canto 4, there are 31 chapters, which will tell us more about the creation of the universe. So basically, the fourth chapter is about, as the first chapter itself starts about the descendants. So it's how the world was created. Like, as we all know, that Lord Brahma, he was assigned the task of carrying the generations forward and or populating the world, right? And in the last chapter, we have seen that how it's started with how Kapil Muni was born. So as we move ahead with this chapter, it is that Swayambhuva Manu, he's married to Satarupa, and then he has daughters Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti. And he also has sons called Priyavrata and Uttanapada. Now this will be a lot, it is more of verbal thing, because there will be no stories or something to mention. But wherever there are things, I've tried to explain it. So we'll go with it a little bit slow also. So Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti are the three daughters which are Swayambhuva Manu has, and two sons are Priyavrata and Uttanapada. Now, as we see over here, that in our in a natural way, how it is that the son's children and their children, as they go and they forward the lineage, right? In our normal in this normal things going on in the world. But over here, what we have seen is that there is something mentioned called as Putrika Dharma. Okay, as we go, wherever there are some important words, we'll emphasize on them. So Putrika Dharma is what? Like, the father, after the daughter is married, the son of the daughter is taken back by the grandfather, and he is raised, and his lineage changes, and then he follows the grandfather's lineage. So that is something called as a Putrika Dharma. We just read through it, which means that by the execution of religious ritual, one gets a son, although one is sonless by one's own wife. But here we see extraordinary behavior in Manu. For in spite of having two sons, that is Priyavrata and Uttanapada, he had two sons, he handed over his first daughter to Prajapati Ruchi on the condition that, so his first daughter was Akuti. So he handed over Akuti to Prajapati Ruchi on the condition that the son born to the daughter be returned to him as his son. So this is something which it's not only like it not only in this yuga that we have seen, but this was there in the beginning also. So this was something very important which I felt we should emphasize, like Putrika Dharma. So the Putri, that is the daughter's son, was taken back by Manu in order to that he wanted him to take over the his kingdom or his lineage further. Now, like, again, one more thing comes up, like, why was this done? Like, why do you think, why did, in spite of having two sons, why did he take up the daughter's son? So over here, Manu knew that the daughter's son, that the Akuti and Prajapati Ruchi will have the supreme personality of Godhead as their son. And so you can see how how devoted Swayambhuva Manu was, that he wanted the Supreme Personality of Godhead to further, like, to guide the whole world. So he did not have his own sons taking up his his further lineage, but he wanted Ruchi and Akuti's son as the Yajna who will be as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who will come as his son, will take up the further lineage. So this was something which was mentioned in one of the verses. So I put it up over there. Now again, when the daughters were married, it is seen that Ruchi, who got married, Prajapati Ruchi, who got married to Akuti, is considered as a first class Brahmana. Now again, in the purport there is mentioned about what the Brahmanical qualities are, or who is a Brahmana. The Brahmanical qualifications are control of senses, control of mind, cleanliness within and without, development of spiritual and material knowledge, simplicity, truthfulness. So these all are the Brahmanical qualities, which again are a reminder for us also. And the Ruchi, he was considered as the first class Brahmana. Therefore, he is mentioned as the Brahma Varchasvi. So this one more word which was coined over here was the Brahma Varchasvi. So Brahma Varchasvi is who has the topmost Brahmanical qualities. And therefore, Prajapati Ruchi was called as the Brahma Varchasvi. Okay. Yeah. So then I have the lineage mentioned in my pages, so I'll just read through it. So Akuti and Prajapati Ruchi, so where they had the son called Yajna and a daughter called Dakshina. Okay. Now over here, as it is mentioned, that Yajna was no other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Dakshina is no other than Mother Lakshmi, who came along with Yajna. And then it is that then Yajna and Dakshini were married, and then the further lineage, as it mentions ahead, is that they had 12 boys. So Akuti, Dehuti, Prasuti, they are the daughters of Swayambhuva Manu. Akuti gets married to Ruchi, Ruchi Prajapati Ruchi. Devahuti, as we've seen in the last canto, Devahuti gets married to Kardama Muni, and they have Kapil Muni as their son. And again, they have 9 daughters. We'll go ahead, as we go ahead, we'll see the 9 daughters and how they are married to the sages, the 9 sages. And the third daughter Prasuti, who gets married to Daksha, and then their 2 sons. So as once again, I'll just have that slide from Mataji's. Oh, where did it go? Okay, once again. Once again. Yeah. So instead of just saying, we'll have this mentioned over here. Yeah. Okay. So Devahuti and Kardama Muni, and then so their daughters are mentioned over here. They had 9 daughters, who is Kala, Anusaya, Shraddha, Havirbu, Gati, Kriya, Arundhati or Urja, and Shanti or Chitti, with the same names, and Khyati. And then they were married to Marichi. Kala married to Marichi. Now all these are daughters of Devahuti and Kardama Muni. So Kala married Marichi, and then they had 2 sons, Kashyapa and Purnima. So then and then Purnima again has the Purnima gets 2 sons, Purnima and Kashyapa Muni, as Viraja, Visvaga, and then the daughters Devakulya. Now Devakulya is the daughters, like, who became the divine Ganga after washing the feet of the Lord in the another birth. Anusaya and Atri, this will be emphasizing more. Of Anusaya and Atri, they have sons, Dattatreya, Durvasa, and Soma. So these are again the Amsha Avtaras which are mentioned. So Dattatreya, as in one of the classes which I heard, is Dattatreya. The name itself tells that Datta, who offered himself to Atreya Muni, that is the reason it is Dattatreya. Okay, Dattatreya, Durvasa, and Soma. So Soma is the Amsha of Brahma, Durvasa the Amsha of Shiva, and Dattatreya as Vishnu. Now, as we go ahead over here, the story of Anusa and Atri is like Atri Muni. He sat for penance as he wanted the Supreme Personality, like Supreme Personality as his son. Now, when he, as in one of the classes and the purpose also it's mentioned that Atri Muni did not know exactly who the Supreme Personality of Godhead was, but he just said that he had a they had a uh, they had a wish that the Supreme Person that a son should be born like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then he sat for penance, and then it started that because of his penance there was a lot of heat created, and once again. I think. Okay. Yeah. So there was a lot of heat created, and then all the three, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, everything, all of the three, they come and they give him their darshan. And then Atri Muni, he is like he does not know who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is. He said, I just called for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And why is it that you three of you have come? And whom among you is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? And then all the three say that we all are the Supreme Lords, and and because you have called upon us, so we all have come over here. And then it is seen that Anusaya over here, Anusaya gives birth to Anusaya give birth to Dattatreya, Durvasa, and Soma. So Dattatreya is all the three of them over here. So you can see over here. So now all these are that the main purpose of this was that it is the further progeny should be increased. The world has to be populated. Right. So then as we move ahead, so Shraddha, the third daughter gets married to Angira Rishi, and then they have four daughters as Sinivalli, Kuhu, Raka, Anumati, and two sons, Uttaya and Brihaspati. Havirbu gets married to Pulasya, and they have two sons, Agastya, and Visrava. And then how Visrava and Idavati, then he has two wives. So with the first wife, he has Kuvera, and with the second wife, he has Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishana. So as we go in the further cantos, when these pastimes will come, they will again be more emphasized over here. So the main thing is that all the further stories which are there, the base is over here, that who gets married to whom and how the lineage has further progressed. Then Gati gets married to Pulaha, the three great sages as Karmashreshta, Viryan, and Sahishnu. Kriya gets married to Kartu, and there are 60. Then the further lineages of 60,000 great sages called Valikhyas, because they all retired for the family life as the Vanaprasthas. Then Arundhati gets married to Arundhati or Urja gets married to Vashishta, and then the seven great sages, the Chitraketu, Surochi, Viraja, Maitra, Ulbana, Vasubridhyana, and Dyumna. These are names, I'm just reading it out from here so that we shouldn't miss anything. And then Chitti gets married to Atharva, and Khyati to Bhrugu. And then further they have the two sons, Dhata and Vidhata, and one daughter, Shri. So Dhata gets married to Aiti, who gets the Markanda, and then the Markanda Muni the further, and Vidhata to Niyati, and Niyati, and then the Prana, and then we'll see the further thing again. So these are the daughters of Devahuti and Kardama Muni, and the sons of Akuti and Ruchi are. So I don't know if that's mentioned over here. One second. Yeah, Akuti and Ruchi's sons given to Manu, again the sons, so because of Putrika Dharma, they took up the Ruchi and Akuti, and then the Yajna and Dakshini were born. Yajna and Dakshini, they have 12 children. They again they become the demigods, are also called as the Tushitas. So I'll just name them. Okay, here the names are not written, but I'll just name them. So the 12 boys who are born to Yajna and Dakshina are Tosha, Kavi, Pratosha, Vibhu, Santosha, Swanaha, Bhadra, Sudevi, Shanti, Rochana, Idaspati, and Idma. So, and these are the demigods who become to the demigods, and they are also called as the Tushitas. So basically, these are the daughters and sons of Devahuti, Akuti, and Ruchi. And as we move ahead, we'll have, yeah. Then the Prasuti and Daksha. Prasuti's daughters, 13 daughters: Shraddha, Maitreya, Daya, Shanti, Tushti, Pushti, Kriya, Unnati, Buddhi, Medha, Titiksha, Ri, and Murti. So these were married to Dharma, and their descendants are again 13 sons, which is Shubha, Prasada, Abhaya, Sukha, Muda, Smaya, Yoga, Darpa, Artha, Smriti, Kshema, Prasaya, and Sri Naranarayan respectively. So again, the over here the Naranarayan stories, Naranarayan is also emphasized over here. So now again they went all over to the three worlds too, as the demigods. And Prasuti's daughters, yeah, Prasuti's daughter who is mentioned is Swaha, who gets married to Rishi Agni, and then they have three sons, Pavaka, Pavana, and Suchi. So all the sacrifices which are made when there is a yajna, and when there is sacrifices which are made, these sacrifices, they go to the 45 fire gods. And like these are the descendants of Swaha and Agni, and in total there are 49 fire gods. So like the 45 are the descendants, the sons which are born, and then the fathers, the father and the grandfather. So like this 40, whenever there is a ahuti which is done, so it goes to the 49 fire gods, which is again mentioned over here in one of the purports. Yeah, so and then one second. Yeah. So then Vidura, he asks about the that the two yeah, over here as we okay, appearance caused that the joyful and pleasant are the because of Nar Narayan who were born. It is seen that we saw like how the Nar Narayan, they were the descendants of once again, should not miss anything. Yeah. So Nar Narayan, they are the descendants of Prasuti, who is married to Dharma. And there was a lot of jubilation, there was a lot of joy when Nar Narayan were formed. We have seen again that during the churning of the ocean, how Nar Narayan play their role. So then Nar Narayan were also, so basically over here in every step, you're going to see that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the Amsha they have taken birth, and then the lineage further continues. The two portions, okay. And then the next chapter which will be there will be the story of Mother Sati. So Vidura asks Maitreya Muni that how come Shiva and Sati do not have children. And then Maitreya Muni explains in the further chapter. So the explanation will not be over here, but then he further explains that how before Sati could beget children, how she sacrifices herself into the yajna. Okay, I'll just stop this share and come back to our slide. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so this was Atri Muni's penance, and when he was in penance, how because of his hard penance, how all the three personalities of Godhead come over, and give him audience. Yeah, and then also it is mentioned in the purport like how they came with their own carriers, a bull, a swan, and a Garuda, and then they gave darshan to Atri Muni. Now Atri Muni, because he did not know who the supreme personality of Godhead was, so over here again the verse is mentioned over here. Those who about Yanti Deva Vrata Deva Pritriya. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Pitrim Yanti Pitravrata Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja Yanti Madhya Jonipi Mam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. So whoever, because Atri Muni, why is this verse mentioned in the purport is because Atri Muni wanted an audience with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is the reason he got the audience with them. So whomever we worship or whomever we think about, it is naturally that we will be going to that loka. So this is again one more important message in this whole in the chapter. Okay, 1 second. So just let me see if I'm missing anything. This is comparatively a short explanation, but because of the names, it becomes big. Yeah. Yes, we talk about yeah, so then, why all the three deities came is because Atri Muni had no clear conception of the Lord of the universe. Therefore, the three preceding deities, who are actually the lords of the universe in the three departments of the modes of nature, all came before him. Now, according to the strength of his determination for a son, his desire will be fulfilled by the grace of the Lord. And that is the reason how we see that the Dattatreya was also born to them. Okay. This will be a short explanation, okay, because its names mentioned over here. I think I've mentioned Narnarayan. We came to Narnarayan, right? Yes, 1 second. I don't want to miss anything, so we'll just go with the this thing also. What do you say? Give me 1 minute, okay? Yeah. Yeah, so we came up to this. Okay, we have covered this part also. And the main was about Atri and Anusaya, Mata Anusaya. Yes, so yeah, so okay. The last part which was left over here is that in the 59th verse. Yeah, we'll go with this. Yeah, so that Narayan Rishi are the partial expansions of Krishna and have now appeared in the dynasty of Yadu and Kuru. That is the Krishna and Arjuna respectively. And all these are like to mitigate the burden of the world. So this was one more which was mentioned in the in one of the verses. So about the how Nar Narayan were formed, and how in this yuga, in this dynasty, they were born in the Yadu and the Kuru dynasty as Krishna and Arjuna. And we talked about the fire also, Pavaka, Vamana, yes. Yeah, and also about Sati, right? The 16th daughter who were named Sati, who was married to Lord Shiva, and like before they could have any children, how like Daksha had offended Lord Shiva, and then Sati had sacrificed herself. And that is the reason they did not, from Sati and Lord Shiva, there were no progeny at that point. So this was about the lineage, the lineage of the daughters of Manu, and how the further generations have taken. Once again. Basically, we have covered everything. It is more about only the names, Mataji and Prabhuji. So, Haribol, is everyone there? Hi, Krishna.
Yes, Mati. Thank you, Mati.
Sorry, I tried my best. Like, I wanted to have everything. Like, the main is Narnarayan story, Atri Muni, and Anusaya, Mata Anusaya story, and all the three. My goodness, I have 3 pages written over here, but when it was speaking, it's done in half an hour.
Yeah, no worries, Mati. It was nice only. Yeah. Obviously, this chapter is different because a lot of names in the chapter.
Yeah.
Because the descendants of the Swayambhu Manu, right? That's what.
Right.
So that's why it's like that, Mati. That's absolutely okay. Yeah. Maybe.
That's what when I've written over here, there are nearly 5 to 7 pages. 5 to 7 pages I filled up. But then, yeah, the more one, what I like emphasized over here was about Agni. When like how when we offer the when we give offerings in the Agni, there are 49 to fight 49 gods whom we give the Agni, the demigods who are there. Pavaka, Pavana, and Suchi, and then the for the grandfather and the like the 49 of them. So this was one more addition to the notes which I mentioned, which I had written. Yeah, Mataji, Prabhuji, please pour in your more thoughts or anything more addition to this chapter.
Thank you for covering, Mati, nicely. Even though there are lots of names in this chapter, you still covered it nicely. I have a few things I can share, Mati.
Please, Prabhu.
Yeah, so while I was going through this chapter, a few things I will share, and I will encourage other devotees also to share.
Yeah.
One of the things is when Mataji was explaining about Anasiya and Atri, how when they are praying for the Supreme Lord, they did not have the conception of the Supreme Lord. Who is the Supreme Lord? They did not have conception. That is important for us as practicing devotees also. The reason somebody will say, why do we need to read? Why do we need to study? Why do we need to understand all these things? We can just chant, everything is okay. Like that, some devotees come to conclusion. So the Sambandha Gnana is important. So we need to understand who is the Supreme Lord, what is his nature, what is his qualities, and our relationship with him. Then that is how we can practice devotion service nicely to reach the highest goal. Yeah, and another example is we know we are all worshippers of Lord Krishna, but there are some people who worship Lord Shiva, for example. And when we worship Lord Shiva, you can worship with a different conception, understanding of Supreme Lord Shiva's position. So based on their conception that they have Lord Shiva, and based on the nature of worship, they will go to that particular destination. So that's why that was important in this context to see how we need to cultivate Sambandha Gnana and proper understanding of Supreme Lord by hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam like this. That is one thing that is coming, Mati. And then another one was how about when you talked about Narayan Rishi, So we'll hear more about them in the 11th canto. So the pastime will come more in there. So then, but how about here? One of the daughters of Daksha is Sati, and she was married to Lord Shiva. One observation I made is there is no children for them. Rest of them they mention about children, right? But Sati and Lord Shiva don't have children. So that pastime is coming up, starting the next chapter itself, Daksha's pastime. So, and another thing, broad brush, when Mataji started with the overview of the 4th canto, there was a nice overview. So, one devotee, Her Grace Narayani Mataji, who's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, she summarizes the whole 4th canto like this. She basically says there are 3 main stories, main pastimes in the 4th canto. One is when you perform bhakti in mode of ignorance, how does it look like? That is with Daksha pastime she mentions. And when you perform bhakti with mode of passion in the beginning, there is Dhruva's pastime she mentions. Then when you perform bhakti in the mode of goodness, that is a Prithumaharaj pastime she describes. So, but ultimately, wherever we are, whichever mode we are in currently, but as long as we do bhakti and pure devotion service, we'll actually get to the pure devotion service without any modes finally. So that's the beauty of our bhakti that we are all practicing. Yeah, those are a few comments, Mati. But thank you, Mati, for sharing.
Thank you, Prabhu, for such a wonderful explanation and giving the insights. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for the beautiful class.
Haribol?
Mataji, we were doing Harati. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for such a beautiful, beautiful class. Very grateful to you. You had your notes, you have two PPTs. Oh my God, so much of preparation. I don't know how you did not get confused, Mataji. If I'm in your place, where I have to read, I'll forget only. You have your notes, two PPTs. Oh my God, so much of preparation. Thank you so much, Mataji. Mataji, here there was a Kashyapa coming, right? The first daughter was given the
Purnima.
Muni and Devavati.
Purnima.
First, daughter was given to Kashyapa. This Kashyapa is the same Kashyapa that we talk of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha's father.
No. Over here, Haribol?
Yes, Mataji.
No. Over here, it is mentioned as Viraja and Visvaga are the two born, and Devakulya. They are the 3 children they have.
Oh, yeah. So that means this is different.
This is different, right? Somebody else is saying?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, same names coming again.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice to know, Mataji. All that you have read with patience. You read all the daughters' name and their husband and their children.
Because I tried to find online, but I couldn't see that, the flow chart, how we make. Like that, I didn't find. So I made my own flow chart over here about I made everything over this in the flow chart form.
Oh, please share that flow chart, Mataji. We'll put it in the group. Your hard work.
Yeah, maybe I'll just make it in a proper way. But then one second. I took a screenshot from Prabhuji's class. One second, I just took it now when I was taking. Maybe this is from Subodhini or something. But then from Prabhuji's class, again the tabular form which is there now, I'll share it in the group, Mataji. It might be there, but in his slides it was there. So Prasuti and Daksha, like it's very nicely mentioned over there. Yeah, like Prasuti and Daksha have 16 descendants. 13 were given to Dharma, the daughters. One of them, Murti, gave birth to Narnarayan. And then Swaha and Agni have 3 sons. Swadha and Pitris have 2 sons, while Sati and Shiva have no sons. And then, in the further will be the one part, okay. And then Devati and Kardamamuni, 9 daughters and 1 son. That we have also seen in the last canto also. And then like these names are more, I think, because of the Rishi names, it becomes more, connectable. But then as further it goes, then there are their further lineage, it becomes more diluted then. Because like at least for me, I do not know all the names. But then the birth of Yajna and Dakshina, that was one more thing, because why the reason why Swayambhuva Manu wanted to have the Putrika Dharma done, right? As the son of the daughter will be taking over his lineage. So that was again very important, because Priyavrata and Uttanapada also, they also became powerful kings going ahead. And over here further it is seen that how Yajna and Dakshina had 12 boys, and then they further, and they were the demigods, and the demigods also are called as the Tushitas. So basically there are 6 kind of living entities which is mentioned in this purports are that Manus, Devas, Manuputras, Amshavtaras, and then Sureshwaras and Rishis. So these are 6 kind of living entities which are mentioned over here in this purport. And because there is no, it's just the beginning, right, of this 4th canto. And then further it will be who descendant and how they went ahead with. But then everything is all connected, when we feel that it is just, okay, these descendants are mentioned, but then everything is connected. Like how the 7 sons of Urja and Vashishta, Chitraketu, Suruchi, Viraja, Maitra, Ulhana, or Vasubhadrayana and Dumna. And then the 8th daughter is the Sashanti and Atharva, they give birth to Aswasira. Maybe in the further it will come, but then there are some names which we know, some names which we do not know. So it becomes a little bit confusing at one part. The only mention is about Narayana.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Very, very grateful to you for your hard work. And this early morning, you are giving the class. Very grateful to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And though it is a small chapter, but I really appreciate you all being here and giving your insights as well.
Hari bol, Hari bol. Thank you, Mataji. Sundaranand Prabhu, we can't hear you.
No, I was just saying thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Once again, I would like to offer my obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagre Sitapriti Mataji ki jai.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Dandavat pranams.
Dandavat pranam, Mataji.
So much work you have done.
Hari bol. Missing the call. We'll meet again after the holiday. No, holidays are over. So next week we will meet again with another chapter. Okay.
Thank you.